Hey guys, this is Shadowcoast with Shadowcoast Gaming, and we are checking Defiance 2050 and trying to answer the question, is it worth the install? Short answer is yes. Now a few key things to note, this is basically the old Defiance. When I was playing through the first two episodes here, I thought it looked awfully familiar, and that's because it is. The main initiating storylines are identical to the old one. Now, there are some, I would say, notable changes. I did go through and also read some forums to better understand what those changes are. And I would say, they're not enough, in my opinion, to argue that this is a truly new game. In fact, I would say it's basically effectively a remastered version of the original. Now, one notable difference is graphics. They have been improved, along with animations, which are fantastic. A few other changes include weapons, how they play and feel. They have been enhanced, so you do feel that they are differentiated a lot more. Now, in full transparency, in the first Defiance, I probably logged maybe 30 hours max, so I didn't play that game that much. One of the things that I found once I got into it, into later levels, is that I felt like I was kind of behind a paywall for certain things compared to other players who are willing to pony up money. Now this game, or Defiance 2050, will release for free on July 10th, 2018, coming up here in a few weeks. So from my point of view, the game is free. These initial missions are fun. I did like the initial missions in the original Defiance, so if you enjoyed that, you most likely will enjoy this. The one question I cannot answer in this video, because we are playing in beta for the weekend, is how later in the game it will operate. Now, doing some reading, one thing that the devs have said, and we will see if this is true or not, is that people who want to purchase items can do so. They will have items in here, but it will not impact their power. Now, if we take a look at power here, power effectively is your efficacy rating, right? And we can effectively, according to the developers, the items you can purchase will most likely not impact this. To see if that remains true or not, we're gonna have to wait and see, and see how that kind of impacts the game. But I do believe that they lost a lot of players in the old one because you could purchase items that vastly increase your power, really changing your or enhancing your play experience, versus those who didn't would either have to grind out for an infinite amount of time or have to pay the appropriate, or however much it was, to really get to what they needed. Now, another aspect that was changed from the original Defiance is they did overhaul a little bit. They did overhaul the classes and the talents you can get and you utilize. And I feel like they've done a fairly nice job. They do have different talents. Gotta work on my sniping. So I am playing as an assassin, and one of my key aspects here is the ability to go invisible. It's fantastic, and hit people from behind, or snipe them for that matter. Although I'm not particularly good at sniping at all in this game, in full transparency. Now, a few other notable differences, at least from what I remember from the original Defiance, and in full transparency again, it has been a while since I played the original Defiance. One of them is sharing quest markers. Now, both of us, you can see there's another NPC. We are not grouped up here. Looks like a guardian. And we are in the same area, so we are both partaking in this mission automatically. We are no longer competing for resources or to click the button first. So one markable note here is if I come over here, and if I could jump right, that would be fantastic. And I go over to this thing and set up this little satellite dish for this mission. This player over here should receive the same credit, which is fantastic. I really like that about it because you're no longer competing against other people. It really makes the game a lot more cooperative, which is much more enjoyable. The loot system, fairly similar to before, except again the play animations and the way they fire and feel have been overhauled a little bit, so you do feel like there's greater differentiation. I'm trying to think of anything else that's like majorly different. The developers have stated that there are additional areas and experiences that are going to be new, specifically to Defiance 2050. There's no way for me to get there in this beta. I'm only investing a couple hours in this gameplay. I personally do plan on installing Defiance 2050 when it releases on July 10th and doing a playthrough, maybe logging, multiple hours on it to really see if I can kind of progress past the point that I got last time to see how that feels. Alright, so we're going to just enjoy the rest of this here.
One more, Dustin.
And, oh, there's a guy right there. Now, there are some bugs here, which I, have noticed. I've gotten stuck multiple times in walls and other things, which is a little surprising because they basically took the original Defiance, which I thought they would fix a lot of that stuff, but some of it hasn't been fixed. I don't know if part of it's generated from the fact that they did enhance the graphics. So something to note, the game is not perfect by any way, shape, or form, and if you're looking for a totally new experience, that's not what you're going to get from this game. It's basically a remastered version of Defiance, albeit I don't know what those new areas look like, or how different that they will be. Alright, let's finish off this mission. The one thing I like about our ATV, which we're driving this because it's part of a mission. Ooh.
Tranquility looks beautiful, but the place still gives me the creeps.
Yeah, me too, me too. Thinning the herd.
Let's get a scanner positioned around here. I'll get the last one ready.
Detecting fast-moving organic life forms. Looks like the hellbugs found us.
Push them back!
One thing here I can do. Well, if they handle them, I'm setting up the scanner.
The scanner's ready. Hop back in and get us to the last location.
Don't leave. Alright. Oh, looks like the big truck has some NOS too. For a little bit of acceleration.
This is a good spot for the last one. Place that bitch. I bet the mutants are somehow a side effect of the terraforming blast.
We got more hellbugs incoming.
Oh, big hellbug. Now, as an assassin, on the skills that I picked, which have been overhauled too, which are important to note, I can go invisible. That's kind of my main one. And when I roll and dodge, I can output more damage. Now, one thing I'm trying to do here is figure out how I get up there, which is, I guess this way. This guy was a lot smarter. He just drove right up there instead of dealing with the bugs. Maybe he's done this before and knows what he's doing. Clearly, he or she does, because I did not know you could drive up here. Alright. Ooh. Alright. down here. Collecting
All right,
the pheromone sample.
let's hope we get a signal from Von Bach. I'm gonna get this truck back to the E-Reps. Had to use some charm to get it. I'll be in
Alright,
touch.
so in summary,
Assuming this actually works.
Defiance 2050 is the old Defiance, except better graphics, different animations, and supposedly rehauls to the classes and additional content later on.
Ready to
Coming from
roll.
somewhere
To be
north of
seen.
Bloodbath Gorge.
Is it worth the
Be there
install?
before your boy screws
Short
up and
answer
loses
is
that
yes.
core.
Great game to check out. A lot of fun. It has a lot of, aspects that scratch that MMO itch. So I would recommend you check it out and see for yourself. Please post recommendations. I'm by no means a Defiance expert. I've watched the show and enjoyed it, but I really have no idea. In the world, I know very little compared to most. So please keep me honest and look forward to your post. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.